Looking for Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins with fast delivery? IG Vault has the cheapest and most reliable coins on the market. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 6% off your order.
Oh, what's up YouTube? It's Duke back here from sportsgamers.com. And trust me when I say this, guys, you're not going to want to miss this Madden 21 tip video because I'm about to break down one simple tip that's going to instantly transform and improve your offense. Guys, if you've been struggling with a lot of the defenses you see online, this video is going to completely change that. So, with the recent update Madden did, pretty much everyone is playing some sort of cover 3, really zone-based defense. And, you all know Mike Blitz 3 from the nickel 3-5 wide. If you play online, you probably see that every day. And it can be a tough defense to beat with someone who's good with it. But I'm about to break down something that anyone can do from any playbook and really any and just about all formations passing-wise to destroy it. So let's get right into it now. I do want to remind you guys, if you enjoy my YouTube content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. It really does help me out as a creator. I want to set a like goal for this video. If we get to 300 likes, I'll drop another fire offensive tip as far as how to destroy this type of defense. So I want to take a look at the coaching adjustments that most people use. Most people are going to put their flats on 25, their curl flats on 5, and their hooks on 5. That's pretty much what anyone that runs this defense, or really anyone out there, tells people to do. So this is what the average person does. Sometimes you might see flats on 20 or 30, but I feel like 25 is probably the most common one right now. Now, also, sometimes people will put hooks on 10, but again, this is the thing that everybody kind of recommends. Just set it out this and let it go, maybe adjust it a little bit throughout the game. But like I said, the 3-5 wide Mike Blitz 3 is a very, very, very tough defense. Now, I'm actually about to just show you one route that for whatever reason nobody really uses, but it absolutely kills this defense. Now, you can find this route in a lot of plays, or if you have a tight end apprentice or hot route master, you can just hot route it. But like a lot of plays actually have it by default. One very common one is just verticals from gun trips tight end. So let's take a look at it now, and I'm about to explain to you. It's this tight end corner route. If you take a look at this tight end corner route, it's extremely short and it's quick. And that's why this works so well, is because of the simple fact is it's quick enough and deep enough to get behind people putting their flats, their curl flats at 0 to 5 or whatever. But then it's also still short enough to get under people having their actual flat zones at 20, 25, 30. So when you create some route combos with this, it can be very difficult to defend. And like I said, this route's in many plays throughout the game. It's not just this play. And if you do have a hot route master or even tight end apprentice, you can just put your tight end on a corner route, and it's going to be that short corner route as well. Now, guys, I run the Jets playbook on offense and currently the 4-6 playbook on defense. So if you guys want to get better at Madden 21, make sure to check out sportsgamers.com. That's that's where I put all of my schemes and ebooks and tips for sale for offense and defense. So just a quick example of how this play could work. We're just going to send the running back out of the backfield on a wheel route. We're going to do this to occupy the underneath flat so we can go ahead and hit the corner out behind it. So this is what the standard defense looks like. You have the double Mabel concept where you have the cloud going at about 25 and this going at about 5. So they essentially covering the deep sideline and the flat at once, and then they're just going to use her over the middle field with the linebacker, right? So let's take a look at this. You guys can see here, every single time, this is just going to get underneath these zones on the sidelines. It's going to be easy throw and catch. You just want to throw a bullet pass and possess and catch it. To just show to you again how easy this is, we're going to do it one more time. Now, I will say, if you are playing MUT, Gunslinger is an absolute must to me to get these throws in. Without Gunslinger, it's just crazy how the DBs react. But if you're on regs, most people do on regs play with the Packers for Gunslinger, but personally, I don't think it's a huge deal. I like to play the Chiefs a lot, honestly, just because they do have the tight end, routes with Kelsey, and they have some more speed for me. I like the Chiefs, but a lot of people do play with the Packers just to get Gunslinger. But again, you guys can see what I'm saying. This just gets underneath these zones every time. Now, this is not the only way you can do it. You also could just block the running back and then drag your inside receiver in the trips to give yourself an underneath read. That's the whole key, though. You want to have something underneath. so that the defense cannot just, not have to worry about the underneath and just play the corner route. Because if you don't have anything underneath, this purple could drift back slightly more underneath the corner route, which we don't want. Now, obviously, we could do some backside, hot routes. Like, obviously, we can keep the streak and fade if we wanted to. But something else you could do is you could do like a curl smoke screen or like a hitch smoke screen. Just something like a quick dot underneath. That could be something easy for you. But bottom line is that you guys can see again, just going to have this open on the sideline all day long. Now, I want to take a look at the replay, and I'm going to break it down how you could utilize this from some other plays too, and not just this one play. Because like I said, it's just a route that's found, throughout the game in many different formations and books. And like I said, you can also just hot route it if you do have tight end apprentice or the hot route master at quarterback. But again, notice how the flat zone is playing up on the drag, and we're just able to fit this in on the sideline. Now, if you see the zone defender, he's too far back behind it. He's not going to be able to react, and this is just an easy throw and catch on the sideline every single time. Now, I will say you always want to have the tight end when you're running this on the short side of the field. It's just a much easier throw for your quarterback. So here, since we're lined up on the right hash, that means that the left side of the field is the wide side. Therefore, we're going to have the tight end on the short side, which is going to be the right. Okay? Now, let's look at this from some other plays and formations. So, another play that has this, or formation, I have to say, is this gun tie doubles. If you take a look at the play Z-spot or even zig under, they're essentially a very similar type play where you do have this route that's to the tight end. The corner route is super sharp and super short. So again, basically you guys can see on the play art, this tight end is cutting at about the same depth. Very, very quick and easy read. The great thing about this is you don't even need a streak to pull the deep zone back, just because it cuts so quick that the deep zone won't play it. So as you guys can see here, I can just keep this, just literally snap the play stock and not even have a streak. And again, the tight end, he's just going to get open on the sideline every single time. Now, if you do a streak, obviously that is going to pull the deep zone even further back. So, it's not like you can't do a streak, but you just don't have to. You know what I mean? So, it's completely optional. If you want to, you can, but you do not have to. So, again here, this is, again, standard setup right here. And this is something that will work on, it's not just Mike Blitz 3, but any variation of cover 3 out there. This is going to work with these zone drops. Now, you're probably wondering, what about some other routes? Well, like on a play like this, we could easily, create some nice, flood concepts over the middle of the field too. A little high-low read going on. And what I would recommend doing is just something like this where you motion the in route out, and then it's going to work a little bit better spacing-wise with that little hitch. See how it's going to get open behind the hitch, just like that. Bam, easy read. So some very simple stuff you can do. Another thing that's going to attack these zone drops very, very well is just a little smart routed out route with a flat. The reason why that works good is because if you do it like this, you'll see that the out route, similar to this corner route, he's going to get underneath the deeper zones, and then the flat's going to drop the underneath zones, so you can kind of just throw a low ball in there, and that's going to be all day long. So that's another thing you can do on the opposite side of the corner route. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what if they just set their zone drops, move them down a little bit for someone who might do 20? 20 is going to still not work. In order to defend this, you're going to have them on either about 10 to 15. 20 is not going to be good enough either. And if they put them on 10 to 15, as you guys know, then you can just throw the corner out behind the zones because they'll come up too quick, or you can throw crossers behind. So, it's not really a good way, per se, to really counter it. Now, like I said, many different formations and plays. We could just go to bunch tight end, really, and just hot route this corner route from any single play we wanted to the tight end. Like, I'll just pick, for instance, PA boot over, and I'm just going to hot route the tight end just like this. And you'll see that, now he's going to go on that same corner route. Same exact defense. I'm just going to go ahead and block the running back. We have the drag coming underneath. And then I'm going to just do a smart routed in route and just motion it. So it works, coming back over the middle field. But again, same thing. Look, see how it just gets underneath every time? See again, 20 is not going to defend it either. So if you take a look at the replay, you'll see what I'm talking about. The tight end, again, you just want to have him on the short side of the field. So again, we're on the right hash. The flat is occupied by our drag. Then the zone drop, it's just this hot routed or little quick tight end corner route. It's always going to get underneath this guy, especially on the short side of the field. And again, I don't even have Gunslinger in this video. I have Mahomes, but if you do have Gunslinger, it's going to be even easier throw to make. But I can do it without, but on MUT, I definitely would recommend Gunslinger just because the DBs on MUT are so good. So bam. Now, I really like this play a lot because let's say that they did have their zone drop set to like 10 or 15. Well, obviously at that point, the corner route's going to be covered better because like you can see at 20, we can still make the throw, but it's a little close. But you still see, we still have the crossing route and the in route. So I'm just going to show you that one more time, and then I'm going to set the zone drops to like 10 or 15 so you can see why this play in particular is so good to do it from. And that's just because that if they do try to take it away with their zone drops, lowering, then at that point, that's when you can throw the crossing route over the top. Bam. See what I mean? It's there every time. All right, so now let's adjust our zone drops. Now, the average player, he's probably not going to be smart enough. He's probably just the type of player that's going to leave it on 25, 20, 30 all game long because, well, that's what everybody says to do, right? And a lot of players, they just basically are robots and that they'll just do whatever, everybody else does. You know what I mean? They don't really make adjustments on their own. Now, let's say someone is smart enough to do that. That's what a good player will do. After a minute, he'll be like, okay, he's just wearing out this corner route. I need to go ahead and take that away. So if he does do that, or someone you're playing does do that, it's no problem because now we can just hit our crossing route right behind all these zones. Because again, if they're going to come up to defend this underneath corner route, look, the crossing route is just going to be wide open right behind it. That's an easy throw and catch. Very, very simple. Now, of course, I'm sure you're wondering, well, what if the user just runs with the crossing route, right? I mean, that's a very valid point. So let's just go ahead and act like this is the user, the linebacker. Man him up on the crosser so we can just act like we're running with it. I'm sure it's probably still going to have a good chance to get open because man coverage on crossers is not that great, especially by a linebacker. But we're just going to assume he's covered for the purposes of this video, right? And it's at that point that's where this motion in route is so good because if you're going to take your user out of the middle of the field, now that's going to leave a huge opening right there that we can just pepper that in route over the middle of the field because no CPU zone is going to cover that even if you have your zone drop set to kind of get in that area. If you just wait for the in route to run right by him, I mean, it will be there every single time. So this is a simple way you can do this. You also could do it from, like I said, you can really do it from any play you want. You could do it from a simple play like inside switch, which is another common play from the bunch tight end. You could do it, literally from, if you have the tight end hot routes to do the short corner, you could do it from any play. So here again, now this time it's going to work with the table route out of the backfield. So at that point, you have that going on too. And with this play, you also do have the post and, the little hook route. So again, if they're going to take away your zone drop, bam. You see what I'm saying? Easy dot over the middle of the field, and we're off to the races. So really, it's ideal to use this concept from plays that have, some sort of other read that they have to worry about over the middle of the field, maybe a deep crossing route to go along with it. So if they do, because you can see here, with their zone drop set to about 15, it's covered better. But the funny thing is, you can still throw this even with them set to 15. You might be wondering how you do that. Well, I'm about to show you guys. But it still is ideal to have other reads on the play in case it's taken away. But yes, you can still even throw that against zone drop set to 15. And the reason for that is that while they might get it covered once it gets to the sideline, it doesn't cover it initially. So take a look at what I'm talking about. So you just wait for it to break and you throw a low ball and possess and catch it. And, as long as he doesn't drop it, they're going to catch that every single time. You just have to make sure they don't run over there to user it. But you can low ball it against 15-yard zones every time. You just have to make sure you have a flat over there to make sure that the underneath flat doesn't drift out to it. But look, that's super, super easy, and it's something that most people won't expect you to be able to do. But if they do start to run over there to defend that low ball with their user, that's why we have to have other reads, which is why I said it's so important to have something over the middle of the field, just to make sure that they're not able to take it away with their user. But look, bam, easy. So this right here, this one simple hot route, you can see how it truly does open up your offense. It just gives you such an easy way to attack this stuff. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be Mike Blitz 3. It can be any cover 3 defense that's popular right now. It's just I feel like Mike Blitz 3 is by far the most popular with these settings and these adjustments. So
I did want to show this to you guys. I run 3-5 wide a lot different. I don't do double Mabel like that. I do run Mike Blitz 3 a lot, but my setups are way different. You can check those out on sportsgamers.com if you want to get better at the game. I have a lot better setups than this, but this is what everybody does, so you're going to be easily able to attack it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Smash that like button, and I will see you.